Blunder number 7, excessive loyalty. Now, loyalty is a highly desirable trait, but not to the point where it's hindering your career or your life. I worked with someone years ago when I was a junior programmer, and they were a senior engineer. And we were on a business trip together, and he told me that several years before, he had worked for a company, another company, and had moved on from that company for a better opportunity. And after he'd been in that new job for a few months, his old boss called him up and said, "Hey, look, we really need you. I've lost several staff members. We need you. You're actually going to have to come in and we'll need you to do a lot of extra time, work on the weekends to try to catch up. Oh, and by the way, we can't afford to pay you what we had been paying you before." It's like, I'm listening to all this. It's like, who's going to do that? And then he said, he out of his loyalty to his boss, he decided to go back and work harder and for less pay. And it made no sense to me at all. And I had a similar decision based on loyalty, that there was one point where I was realizing in my career I had been stuck in my comfort zone and I needed to move on, try to find another assignment within the company. And also wanted to improve my commute, because I had been commuting almost 2 hours each way for several years. I mentioned that to my manager, and he said, "Well, we really can't afford to lose you now," and offered some concessions to see if he could convince me to stay. And I decided, out of loyalty, to stay. And that had several disadvantages to that decision, which we'll talk about in future blunders. So diagnosis, you're agreeing, oops. Oh, I didn't put this thing. Okay, we're agreeing to all requests. And anything comes your way, okay, I'll do that. Yeah, you need me to do that, I'll take care of that. Or you're not moving on from a bad situation. It's like things are getting, you're underpaid, overworked. But out of loyalty to your manager or maybe your coworkers, I don't want to put them in a bind. If I leave, they'll have to work even harder. And forgetting your career priorities. Again, you need to have some priorities to be able to measure these by. Remedy, know your career strategy and direction. Have those priorities set up in advance. Look for loyalty to be reciprocated. If someone's always asking of you to help them, and especially if it's a manager and you're not getting any opportunities to grow, maybe more pay, some more responsibilities, that's a bad loyalty situation to be in. And just don't overlook when it's time to move on. That point is likely to come at some point, and it's too easy to let it pass by.